Thursday night. Lights are off. Let the crew assemble. Know what time it is. Mike D. Hooray! Yo, it's a Thursday vibe. Time to plug in the crew. Holly and the bros, yeah, we're coming through. Sweet but spunky, that's Holly on the rise. Sharp, quick flips, fire spark in her eyes. Josh got the wisdom like a preacher on the mic. Dropping knowledge bombs, keeping everything tight. Caleb's the giant, gentle hand, steady flow. Big heart, calm voice, always ready to go.
You are the wild card, so enter the stream. We are spinning stories that makes your brain dream. Holly and the bros, we're taking over the show. On YouTube and X, every Thursday we flow. Talking sports, politics, wrestling, crypto, 2-3. Best friends, bringing real talk to you. Holly and the bros, yeah, we're rising high. Tune in, turn up, let the good times fly. From the sweet to the spunky, from the wise to the bold. This podcast fire, every story told.
Holly's got that spark like a firecracker pop. Sweet smile with a bite, never gonna stop. Josh breaks it down like a scholar in the zone. Every word he drops feels like a cornerstone. Kale's giant presence, calm as ocean tide. Gentle giant's wisdom, always on your side. We always dive deep where shadows play. Pulling out the secrets that you never saw today.
It's more than just talk, it's a family vibe. Three voices united on this Thursday ride. From crypto highs to wrestling rings, politics and sports and all the wild things. They laugh, they keep it so real. Holly and the bros, that's the deal. Holly and the bros, we're taking over the show. On YouTube and X, every Thursday we flow. Talking sports, politics, wrestling, crypto, 2-3. Best friends, bringing real talkie. Holly and the bros, yeah, we're rising high. Tune in, turn up, let the good times fly. From the sweet to the spunky, from the wise to the bold. This podcast fire, every story told. So get ready to listen, to laugh and to learn. Every Thursday's a chance for the tables to turn. How this fire ignites, Josh's wisdom guides.
Kings, calm, steadies, all light, never hide. From crypto points flipping to the wrestling ring score. From politics battles to the sports fan score. They cover it all with style and flair. Holly and the pros, nothing else compares.
So hit that subscribe, don't miss a beat. Holly and the bros, bring the heat. On YouTube and X, every Thursday night. Tune in, join in for the freshest insight.
Three friends, one crew, one podcast flow. This is Holly and the Bros on the mic. Let's go!
Five, four, three, two, one.
Hello.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
We're on a roll.
we are on a roll. 2 weeks in a row.
Wow.
How's
I
everything
guess
in little Arizona, Holly?
It's wonderful.
Is it? How's the weather there?
Oh, it's beautiful. We're in like the 70s.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about weather a little bit later in the podcast because we got some stuff going on in the Midwest right now.
I know. It's insane.
You might see me on top of my house in the middle of a news report before it's all said and done, trying to get away from this drifts or something. But first things first, since we're all pretty big football fans, we got to talk about the national championship game.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Indiana, University of Indiana, the Hoosiers
undefeated.
won the national championship.
Undefeated.
I know
The
we're 3
entire-
days late on that, but that's amazing to
I
an
am
old dude
so
like
happy
me that saw how college football has evolved. Like, part of me still doesn't really believe Indiana won the national championship game. And if some backup tight end would have decided to block on punt coverage, like, maybe they don't win. That guy, he let that defender just run right by him.
Mhm.
In this day and age of DraftKings and all this sort of stuff, I'm always like,
Mm.
does somebody get a payday? Like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
have any idea who that kid is, so I'm not like accusing him of anything. But
It was
Do
a fun
you-
game.
I agree. But do you guys think that would have ever happened before the portal and the NIL?
What?
Indiana
Indiana?
winning national championship.
I mean, possibly. I mean, I know Indiana is more of a basketball school than they are a football school, so that
Yeah,
was
but when's the last time they were actually really good at basketball too?
not
I
too
feel
long,
like that's one of those schools that's living off reputation.
possibly.
But because I heard everybody say that, you know, he's the coach. I can't pronounce his last name. There are certain words in the English dictionary that in my brain I know what they say, but it can't get to my mouth. And his last name is one of them. But they said, oh, he's the coach of the year and this and that. And I was like, hey, he did a good job. But what I think he was really good at was managing the portal and managing
Probably.
the licensing and things like that. So yeah, I don't know that happens in the old system. I think Bearded there in the comments agrees. But
The shark.
do you think the whole portal is good or bad for college football?
I freaking hate it with all my entire heart.
Agreed 100%. I can't stand it.
Did you hear what Duke's doing?
I did hear.
Who?
Yeah,
No.
Duke's suing their quarterback because he's trying to exit to go to Miami.
So a
What?
little background on their quarterback. He several weeks before all the portal thing was going to close,
Hmm.
they asked all their players, I guess they have kind of an exit interview thing like, hey, are you coming back? You know, blah, blah, blah. We need to know what we're building on, who we need to offer scholarships for, blah, blah, all this stuff.
Mhm.
And he said, yes, I'm coming back. Don't worry about it. An hour before the portal closed, he put his name in a portal because, and this is just a rumor, but they say the University of Miami is offering him $10 million to be their quarterback next year. Because
Oh, wow.
Carson Beck is done.
Yeah.
But
Carson Beck is a piece of crap.
I kind of fast forwarded a little bit because we kind of got onto the portal. But so, anyways, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
to keep things in line, Duke's suing their
What?
Duke's suing
Never.
their quarterback. So that's super weird, and they're suing him to not be able to go into the portal. Which, if he
Mhm.
doesn't go to the portal, means he's got to come back. Do you really want a kid playing for you that you
No.
took to court?
You don't.
Like,
Yeah.
that's super weird. But
Yeah. I don't agree. The rules around the portal need to be tightened up, I think. I think that would help.
yeah,
Um
one,
I
it
don't
shouldn't
like the fact
open.
that you can elect to not play in bowl games.
Yeah, me too. Just don't have the bowl games in.
Well, they're useless at this point.
I
If you're
agree.
not in the or the playoffs, the bowl games are just for fun, for people to
yeah.
keep watching, more money.
Yeah,
That's
Notre
really
Dame
what-
decided they're not going to play it. They didn't play in it this year, and they
Oh,
were.
Notre Dame- well,
Yeah.
because in my opinion, rightfully freaking so. They
Yeah.
should have been in there, and I'm so sorry, Meg, but over Alabama, and they weren't. And I just
Not just Alabama. You don't think Notre
course.
Dame's better than James Madison,
there
or
we go. That's the team. That's another team that was like, what?
that got stomped, and there was another
Who
team
did
in
they
it
play?
too.
Like, did they play anybody to be ranked
No,
that high?
no, it's trying to be fair and give everybody a chance. I think it's time to blow the whole thing up on all of it and realign all of college sports and do like 16 or
Mhm.
4 16-team mega conferences with maybe one at large, but have like 16 teams in the football tournament. Do away with all the other stupid bowl games, and then kind of go from there. But let's go back to the championship game real fast because there are some things we need to talk about. It. Carson
Okay.
Beck. I want your guys' opinion on Carson Beck.
He's a piece of crap.
Okay, like personally or like football player wise.
Both.
Okay, yeah,
Honest.
Both.
dude, I haven't really paid that much attention to Carson Beck. I probably more so with Georgia than Miami, but he's sitting there. My wife and I are watching the last quarter of the championship game. Indiana's going to go either score kick a field goal to go up 6 or a touchdown to kind of put it out. And he's sitting on the sideline, looks like he's about to lose it, like cry. And I'm thinking, dude, you're going to get the ball back one way or another. Like, you need to be ready to go. And he looks stoned.
He probably was.
And my wife actually asked me, who, in all fairness, is not a sports fan.
Yeah.
She goes, "Is that guy stoned?" And I was like, it kind of looks like it. Then they lose, and he walks off the field without shaking anyone's hands.
Anybody's hands. He didn't
Yeah.
even like talk to his own players.
Yeah, and then when they talked to him about it later, he says, "Well, I don't owe anybody a handshake. I owe myself to play to the standard that I'm used to," and blah blah blah. Well, one, you didn't do that, but
No.
two, can we not be good sports about things? Nobody
No.
likes to lose, but you should at least be shaking hands or at least consoling your own players.
Right.
It's crazy to me.
No. Yeah. No, Meg. We're not dropping college football altogether. That's not going to work for me.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen.
No,
But
no.
also too, this is coming from a guy that threw one of the worst underthrown passes I've seen in
Yeah.
a cover 2 scheme
That was
defense.
terrible. He didn't
Like-
even play good.
No.
I don't like him. I think he rubbed me the wrong way with how poor of a sport he was. He is not a team player. I am ready for him to be done. Do I think that he'll go pro?
I doubt it.
I hope not.
But I saw he said I'll be back. But isn't he the one that's a 7-year?
Yeah,
player?
he's not coming back. He's done.
Like
Is he-
how would he even be able to?
I don't know, but they are bending these different things and changing the rules, or at least from what I knew them to be. There's a couple guys that were in the NBA draft or declared for the draft that now are coming back to college basketball. I think Baylor.
There's one guy playing the C League or D League.
Yeah, and that
Really
never
came back
used to be able to
college.
happen
Yeah.
because you couldn't go be a pro because it was an amateur sport. But now that everybody's making money, they're changing all the rules.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about this in professional sports. We always say there's not much loyalty. You know, people change, they're free agents, blah blah blah. There's way more loyalty in the NFL than there's in college football now. I know that Missouri's best defensive end just entered the portal, and he's going to go play for Miami next year. And I'm like, dude, like we had one of the best defenses in the nation.
I can't remember who it was that entered the portal and Washington. Shit. He's from Washington and I can't remember his name, but he entered the portal. The Washington people lost their shit, their complete shit online, right? It was like,
Oh, I bet.
yeah. And so I was like, haha, that's what you get because, you know, when Fish left
Mhm.
Arizona, we were like real hurt because he actually, what is that stupid kid's name? I
Not
can't
sure.
remember. But anyways, it was a big old deal. And then all of a sudden he's like, just kidding. I'm staying. And he's
Yeah,
like that was just,
probably
I think
because Brian
Give
said
more money.
Desmond, is that his name from Washington?
mm-mm.
No,
What was Desmond?
Desmond. I don't
Was
know.
it this year?
Yeah, it was like
Okay.
right after they just lost their last game. Like it was,
Okay.
they didn't do good.
Well, you pretty much had your whole secondary not play in the bowl game because they didn't want to get hurt either for the draft or the transfer portal. We didn't have a quarterback that didn't play in their bowl game because of the transfer portal. It's just to a point now where it's just ridiculous. And I think they can make it work, but who put these rules into play that like the portal opens before the playoffs are even done? That's puts a bunch of people in a huge disadvantage.
Mhm.
And it's like you're punishing people to making it to the championship game. So they got a lot to fix. I really think they got a lot to
So
fix.
hard to really like, I don't know. At this point, it's hard to get attached to players because you don't know if they're going to be there next
Mhm.
year.
Yeah.
Like for instance, you know, we'll go kind of into basketball because you know that's happening right now. But like Koa Pete, I know he's a one and done. He's going into the NBA after. Do I think he's ready? No, not how he's been playing the last 3 games. He's not ready. But
Mhm.
whatever.
He's not going to listen to you.
No, he's not, and that's okay. But it's like I watch him. I am glad he's on our team, but I'm not going to get attachment because he's going to be gone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I feel like
You're not buying his jersey, you know, things like that where people will spend money, but that money doesn't isn't big enough to keep people around. And
No, but I guess you can kind of say the same thing in the NFL, right? Like,
at least you're going to get 4 years out of them.
yeah,
You have
unless
a contract, yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, everybody's.
It's really hard. Like
It
that's what
is.
because it's I don't know. It's not about individual players, at least for me. It's about the game in general. I love the
Mhm.
game.
Yeah.
But with that comes loyalty, and I feel like there is zero now.
No, and they're
Well, not
we
zero,
just
but
no, not zero, but it's definitely out there. I mean, and especially when a jersey costs say $125, are you going to go buy one knowing the guy's only going to be there for 3 or 4 years? I'm not. I mean, I've decided to not buy that stuff for a long time. But getting back to the college game too, you got a kid like Carson Beck. When they interviewed him before the game, or I think it was before the game, they asked him like, how'd you do classes this week and blah blah blah. And he's like, I haven't been to class in 2 years. He lives on a
That's
beachfront property in Florida, doesn't actually attend school.
Because he
is dating-
graduated in Georgia, didn't he?
that's
yeah,
crazy.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
dating, I guess, an adult
A
film
porn
star because
star.
people were all mad about it because they kept showing her on TV. I didn't realize that's who it was. I didn't
A
know.
lot of- so the funny thing is I didn't either. I was like, who is this? And the only reason I found out is from Twitter or X.
Well, I found out later because I wasn't on X when I was watching the game. I was like, oh, she was an adult film star. What's funny, though, is these people were super mad. They kept showing this porn star, adult film star, whatever, on the game.
Uh-huh.
And because their kids are watching it. And I looked at my wife and I was like, how'd they know she was a porn star?
Well, I know they didn't announce it. They didn't. they didn't even
Well,
say
that's what I wondered. And maybe I missed it. Like they said, oh, she started whatever, you know. And she's like, yeah, how did they know she was a porn star?
porn
was like-
stars need love too.
I guess, but that would be an interesting conversation that you'd have to have with your spouse if you could start naming porn stars that
Well, I
show
mean,
up randomly on your TV.
Gronkowski did it.
Oh,
He
see,
did
well, I
Mhm.
more power to him, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna stay away from that one, but I just
But
think it's
it's-
weird. It's a professional gig now. I mean, if you're not going to
Yeah.
class for 2 years and you're making $8 million to play football,
Why are
you
they-
are not an amateur.
What happened to you had to keep a certain GPA?
That doesn't matter
Mhm.
anymore.
What
It's all
happened to
about
that?
money.
Yeah.
See, why? Why are they going to ruin everything with money? Money ruins everything.
Well, I don't think it's just college football though either.
No.
We've talked about this a little bit, touched on this a little bit when it comes to, let's just say, the NFL. They're pricing the average fan out. I mean, it looks like now the Chiefs are going to build a new stadium across the border in Kansas. It's still basically Kansas City. It's like a suburb, but you know, it's really for like Caleb and I, it's no further away. Okay. But so the zip code to me doesn't matter, right? But when they build this new stadium, the ticket prices are supposedly going to go up by like, I
Sure
forget
of
what it was, like 35% or something. I can't, okay, I could afford to go, but I choose not to spend my money in that way to go to a professional football game. That's just weird to me to spend that much money.
Yeah.
And I mean, right now it's like $100 to park your car there. I think
Yeah.
it's like $125 a person. And if you want to get anything to eat or drink in the 4 hours you're in that stadium, you're going to blow another $100. So 2 people going to go to this stadium and watch a football game,
Mhm.
and it's going to cost you $400 to $500, and that's for the crap seats.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to price yourself out. And so when you do, and you got to come back to the real world, and you had a lower cost, those players are not taking a pay cut.
No.
It's going to get ugly.
Mm.
And I saw a couple fans today. This is why it was fresh in my mind on X talking about, hey, I'm pretty proud. I think it was the Commanders. I don't remember what team. It doesn't really matter because it probably affects half the NFL teams. He said they only raised ticket prices 4% this year. And they were like, yeah, but did you take an effect this year? We had 9 games and next year we're only going to have 8. So prices went up with one less game because they play the 17 game schedule now. So every other year you have 8 or 9 home games.
Right.
And they're like, and now they're wanting to go 18 game season, 2 preseason games, but every team has to play a game in another
Overseas.
country, like
Yeah.
overseas. So I don't know. I'm just to the point now where it's strictly entertainment. Whatever happens, happens. And I'm not that worried about it. But
Yes.
But you'll be happy
Speaking-
when the Rams win the Super Bowl.
yeah, speaking of that the NFL also played, and Holly's Rams
Yeah.
made it to the next round.
Yeah.
We've got to talk about the Rams Bears game because the other game was horrible. I thought the Niners and Seahawks game was almost unwatchable.
My gosh. I like, first off, I can't stand a lot of the 49er fans. I can't. They like gloat almost like.
Aren't they the ones that say "Bang Bang Niner Gang" or
Bang, bang,
something
Niner
stupid
Gang.
like that? Yeah.
They're just, I don't know if it's arrogance. I don't know what it is, right? And so we all know their team was hurt dang near the entire season. Yes.
Megan Bearded are going to get in a fight in the chat.
But the thing is the like, they lost so bad. They kicked 2 field goals, and all of a sudden now the Niners are game. Well, you know, all the Niner fans are, well, we all had all of our players were hurt, but where was that when they're winning?
Yeah, and one of their wide receivers, Brandon Ayuk, probably should have been back, but he gained like 30 pounds, was sitting on his couch watching the game on TV. And the GM came out today and said he ain't coming back. Like, he's not welcome back on this team. So,
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So let's talk about your game first, because we do have to discuss the Bills and Broncos game. So have you ever seen a throw like Caleb Williams made at the end of regulation?
What was that? What was that?
And did he not, the tight end for the Bears, push off to get open in the end zone?
No, he did.
I think he did too, but
they don't really have a good angle of it. But how do you get that wide open without pushing off on somebody on a throw like that? It wasn't on a rope. I mean, he made a good throw so the guy could catch it, but
it was a beautiful throw.
It was kind of a rainbow.
Scrambling, like, how was it that beautiful with how he was scrambling?
No, I just meant where the ball landed, not necessarily anything else. But that was chaos before he let the ball fly. And it was like when he started backwards, I thought, "Oh, this game's over."
Oh yeah, I'm he's like 20 yards away from the.
I should have looked it up, but it started on like the 30, and they threw it from like the 50.
Yeah,
he scrambled backwards a long ways, and then just kind of casually tossed it up there.
So,
and then he had to have pushed off. He had to have, but whatever. It made for an excellent story, and then
it really did. That worried me. I was like, "Oh shit!"
There goes all the momentum.
I thought for sure, like, we're not going to make it through this. But you know, Stafford, you have to give it to him. He kept his composure the entire game and did it so well.
He's got to be the MVP, right?
Oh, it's between him and Puka. But yes, I think Stafford will get MVP.
Yeah, it's got to be Stafford. I don't think they're going to give it to a wide receiver. I think that's become a quarterback.
Puka deserves it.
Yeah, I just think that's become a quarterback award. I just think it has. I don't say I agree with it.
Something like that. Like, you know, I don't know. But yes, you're right. When is the last time anybody but a quarterback won that?
I think Adrian Peterson won it in Minnesota.
It's been a while.
In the early 2000s. I mean, I really do feel like, and they don't ask me, but I really do feel like that if you're going to win it as a non-quarterback, you're going to be breaking some sort of a single season record like Peterson did. And, you know, or Puka maybe had 150 catches and like 3,900 yards, you know, something stupid.
This year.
But awesome. The problem is the guy that's throwing in the ball gets all those stats too. And he's a quarterback and he's good. I mean, nobody's saying he's not good. But it'd be interesting. But no, so they get to advance and they get to play Seattle. Do you think they're going to beat Seattle?
Yes, I do.
No, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Do you really think they're going to beat Seattle, or is that just the fan in you coming out?
No, I think they have the team to beat Seattle. The only thing that I feel like it's going to be difficult for sure. Number one, it's a Seattle home game. That's always hard when you're in that stadium of all stadiums. It's
one of the best home field advantages out there.
Yeah. And then number 2, there's, the factor of the freaking Seattle defense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're awesome.
They are so good, and that scares the crap out of me. So, we just they've got to go in there and play their game, and they
Did
can.
they split in the regular season? Did they
Yeah.
split the? Okay.
We won the first time, lost the second time, and now this is.
But there was a lot of weeks in between that, wasn't it? Did you guys open with Seattle?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was week
Open, I
1.
think.
Yeah.
Which, I agree with you. I think Seattle's defense may be one of the best we've seen in a long time. If it was the Ravens and it was the same players, we'd be talking about an all-time great defense. Or if it was the Bears and the same players as Seattle's defense, we'd be talking about it all because they don't have the name. They had the Legion of Boom, but I still don't know that they got as much credit as they deserved either.
Yes, we beat them on November 3rd. Oh no, sorry. I am way off. Okay, Saints. Why am I in 2024?
Because you're drunk? I don't know. But I will tell you.
Did we not play Seattle twice this year? We did.
You
I
have
think it
to.
was
They're in
first
your
week,
division.
wasn't it? Week 1 and week 17 or whatever.
Yeah, I think so.
January 5th. We've lost both games to. Oh shit, that makes me even worse.
Yeah, I don't.
We lost by 5.
Oh, really?
30 to 25.
Somebody must got a safety.
No, November 16th, we beat them 21 to 19.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought it was a split, but I thought it was like first week last week or something like that. I thought it was more stretched out.
Wait,
Meg's got to be on Google because he said
that
Adrian
is November
Peterson.
16th was the first time we played them. And then December 18th, we lost by 1. Like the scores on both, I mean, they were pretty close. So it's going to be, and it better be, a good game.
Yeah.
Is it the second game of the weekend?
I just know we're on Sunday on Fox.
They're both on Sunday, but one's at like 2 our time and one's at like 6 our time.
I don't know if it's what the deal is, but I see no commercials, no previews, no nothing for the Broncos and the Patriots. Nothing.
Really?
It's all Rams in Seattle, and I don't know if it's like,
Probably because the Broncos starting quarterback's out.
I know Bo Nix. He got hurt at the final play, wasn't it?
Second to last play.
Ankle?
Yeah. When he went down, Caleb and I were watching that game together. When Bo Nix, let's talk about that game too. When Bo Nix went down to kneel the ball at the end to kick the game-winning field goal, I told Caleb, I was like, man, he knelt down really weird. Like, did he get hurt? And then he's high-fiving people and walking off the field, no big deal. Press conferences are over. All of a sudden, Sean Payton comes back and goes, oh, yeah, by the way, Bo Nix broke his ankle.
And he's done. We're going to do surgery on Tuesday. We're done.
Yeah, he's having surgery on Tuesday. I'm like, what happened? But, yeah, that game, I mean, we have, I think, the media darling and Josh Allen, where he can do no wrong. Every talking head thinks he's the greatest thing of all time.
I can't believe
has
it.
4 turnovers. Yeah, and then his coach gets fired.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. When Harbaugh gets fired and McDermott gets fired, who are you planning on bringing in that's going to be better than that coach?
Wasn't there a total of 10 coaches that got fired? I think there was on the same dang day.
Yeah, I think there were 8 total. It was a third of the league, I think. Yeah. But still, it's a lot. Like,
it is a lot.
And then you got guys like Mike McDaniel that's supposedly going to go be the offensive coordinator for the Chargers now and not even be a head coach. So you got Mike Nagy out there. You got Mike Nagy out there, offensive coordinator of the Chiefs, who sucks, who's going to get one of these jobs because who else are you going to hire?
Oh, you know who really, my heart broke a little bit? Tomlin.
They stepped down.
Yeah. Somebody said.
I think that they let him step down before they fired him. That's what I. But
I also heard a rumor that there are some things behind the scenes is why he stepped down.
Oh, really?
Kind of the same reason that Bill Cowher left, if you remember what happened back then.
No, I don't.
Having some relations that he shouldn't be having with some of the female staff people.
Oh, was that Tomlin?
Maybe.
That's a rumor.
That's a rumor. But that happened with Bill Cowher. The reason he left the Steelers is because he was having an affair with his secretary. And so he retired early because he could have coached another 5 years. But I still think that Tomlin, you're not getting anybody better than Tomlin. You're not getting anybody better than McDermott. You're not getting any, and I'm not a huge Sean McDermott fan, but he got a lot out of Buffalo. And you're not getting anybody better than Harbaugh. Like, who are you planning on hiring for these jobs? And I understand we're talking about billion-dollar industry.
See, even Bearded said 10 fired or step down.
Yeah. But it's like you at that point, I'm sure it's billionaires fighting with millionaires' egos, and not everybody gets along. So there's probably some of that too. But I'm really curious to see who they end up hiring. I think that it'll be interesting. But back to that game, this everyone's Superman and Josh Allen like throws some horrendous picks, misses Kincaid on a wide open touchdown throw in the fourth quarter that would have iced it. Fumbles right before the half, and one of the worst ball security things I've ever seen in my entire life. He's flinging that thing around and like a ballerina and doing all this stuff, and then they get a field goal out of it, which they ended up barely winning. So, and nobody's talking about the fact that Sean Payton, instead of trying to kick like a 57-yard field goal in the fourth quarter, punted the ball, because if he wouldn't have done that, nobody would be talking about overtime. Or talking about how the interception, all that stuff happened in the fourth quarter either. None of that would have mattered. Plus, there was a holding call that they didn't call in the end zone that should have been a safety on Buffalo. And it's like, but people nitpick. And after McDermott got fired, Bills fans have lost their freaking mind on X. You cannot talk to a Bills fan on X.
Oh, no?
No, they may not recover. Let's just put it that way. They may not.
Oh, wow.
But I do want to show you a graphic that I came across on X. Okay. Going to cover up Caleb's face. Now, those are the quarterbacks that Josh Allen has beaten in the postseason. He beat Phillip Rivers in 2020, meaning Phillip Rivers was old. He was like 40 years old. And with the Colts, he beat Lamar Jackson once. That's a pretty good win. Mac Jones, Skylar Thompson, Mason Rudolph, Bo Nix, and Trevor Lawrence once this year. And then you see the list of people that Patrick Mahomes beat. Luck, Watson, Tannehill's not a big name. Garoppolo's not really that big a name, but it was in the Super Bowl. Mayfield, Allen 4 times. Roethlisberger, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Tua, Lamar, Purdy, Stroud. I'm so tired of people putting these two quarterbacks in the same sentence. They are not. Now, is Josh Allen one of the best players out there? Yes. But can we put this debate to bed now? One of the graphics I saw during that game is he's 0-8 in overtime games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, dude, you're the quarterback. You're touching the football. It's not like you're a wide receiver and the quarterback didn't throw it to you or whatever that may be. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. If we didn't have Mahomes, I'd be all about Josh Allen being our quarterback. But we need to quit having that conversation.
Yeah.
My opinion.
But it might be because his wife didn't show up to the game.
Maybe. Could be. I can tell you, I hurt my mom's feelings really, really bad one time because when I played high school sports, I didn't pay any attention to who was in the crowd. It did not matter to me.
Right.
And she had made it a point to go to every one of my high school basketball games. And I just in passing was like, oh, you were at all the games? Because I wasn't focused in on any of that stuff, right? So I don't think professional football players really care if their boyfriends, their girlfriends. Some of them probably have boyfriends.
His wife, but
yeah, their girlfriends or wives are there.
An actress, and she was doing the glow, like she was doing a job, like that's her job as being in that industry. She was or not hosting, but she was a presenter at the Golden Globes, and it just happened to be the same day, but she couldn't fly in time to get there because the times that she had to be there. It was like a whole schedule conflict. And I'm like, calm down, people. People were like threatened. It was insane.
Well, when you marry somebody that is that high profile, you're going to know that they can't always be there. I mean, people were all upset every time Taylor Swift showed up to a game, but she didn't show up to a lot of them because she was in concert and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, Jeff makes a good point. He says he's tired of all the credit for wins and losses going solely to the quarterbacks. I agree with that 100% too.
Yeah.
There's a
You-
lot that goes into winning a game, defensively, offensively.
The thing that I'm tired about the most is when one play goes wrong, it's that person's fault.
Yeah.
And like kicking, for instance. I mean, I know you have one job, but I don't see anybody else out there trying to kick that field goal. And that those weather conditions, I get it. You happen to miss it. But that poor guy from what was his name? Oh, come on, Holly. He was our kicker. He got death threats, his whole family. And because that one kick for, was it Baltimore? That they lost by a field goal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But that one play, it should never come down to one play ever.
No.
That's everybody's fault.
It's like somebody missing a 3 at the buzzer in a basketball game. It's not their fault.
No, they're heroes if they do, and it's like, oh, look at that piece of crap. If he doesn't, that's just not fair.
Yeah.
That's showing my age, but in the 90s, the Chiefs lost a playoff game to the Colts because they missed 3 field goals, and they literally had to escort the kicker out of town with the police when he moved because people were giving him death threats and supposedly going to try to find him and kill him and all this crazy stuff. But I don't know. But I think it's going to be interesting. A lot of people are saying that the Super Bowl is going to be boring because it's going to be one of these 4 teams. I think the NFC is going to win it. I don't. But we have to quickly, because the game was horrible, talk about how bad CJ Stroud was for Houston. Because Houston also, I believe, their defense is one of the all-time, one of the best defenses I've seen in a long time. Seattle, they just happen to be in the same year. If they weren't playing in the same year, we'd be talking about how good their defense is. And CJ Stroud threw 4 interceptions in the first half. That's insane. Like, I'm thinking that his job security may not really be there after that. But luckily, I think the Texans have a chance of coming back because they do have a lot of young players. And hey, you want to hear a trade rumor that I saw today that Poly Market put out there?
Yeah.
What's that?
The odds are above 50% that the Ravens will trade Lamar Jackson to the Raiders for the first overall pick this year, their first round and second round picks next year, and they're going to draft Indiana's quarterback is the rumor that's out there. So we'll have to pay attention to see if that happens. But could you imagine trading somebody as high profile as Lamar Jackson? I think you don't see that very often.
See, and I don't know. I don't see all the hype around Lamar Jackson.
See,
I'm like,
Yeah.
That's how I feel about.
But
well, I think he's a top 5 quarterback, though. I mean, who are you going to put? There's a lot of crappy quarterbacks playing in the league. No, but he was hurt a lot too. Yeah. But
if you're going to trade away Jackson, why did you fire Harbaugh?
Because you're dumb. I don't know why else.
You just want to rebuild completely.
Because I think we give the owners and the GMs way too much credit. We think they're super smart and the smartest people in the room. After the press conference of the Bills GM and owner, those guys are dumb. Like, they made it so much worse that Buffalo, I mean, they're opening a new stadium. What's that?
How much is it to buy a team? Like, what's the average cost of a team?
Billions of dollars. I don't know how many billions.
So even if I won the lottery, I wouldn't be able to buy a team.
You have to win it like 3 or 4 times. Shit. And it would have to be like a big time lottery.
Pull our money together.
Man.
Yeah. Oh, Meg's threatening us with Holly AI pictures. All right, let's talk about something else. We got a list today. We got a lot of things we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Synergy for John Crony. Are you super excited it got pushed again?
Till February. It's only 14 days.
Yeah,
it's like
2 weeks.
6th or whatever. But geez Louise, I don't know. I'm just so over it. I want it to be over. And I can't. You would think that I would just be like, oh, whatever. Since I want it to be over, let's just not pay attention. I can't help it. I can't freaking help it. I want to know the outcome.
See, I don't really care, but I do know that every time it pops up that people are going to like, come on. And also, my fear is the more and more it gets pushed, the more and more likely it's going to be either less and less time or no time.
That's what
So,
I'm really worried about is it's as it keeps going, I'm like, is this really going to happen? Is he going to get in trouble at all? However, this is crazy to me because I'm very unclear. Wait, this crap is still Spirited. It's still going on.
it's still going on, Bearded. Go work on your race car.
There was, and this is news to me, or I just don't remember, but there was a class action lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And this lawsuit was in favor of $12 million.
Yeah.
But who filed it? And I'm confused on that part. I don't understand. And then I saw like this comment saying so and so is going to be rich, and he was like, I was just doing my part. And I'm like, did he file that? Like, I'm so confused with all of it.
I've lost touch with it, to be honest with you, to know the ins and outs of it anymore. I'm really just waiting to see if he's actually going to get punished, because I mean, we see it in our government right now all the time. I may see Rudy in the comments, and I see her commenting on different things about prosecuting people that are doing really, really bad things. And she's not wrong, but it's not just them. It's like money and influence and power can get you just about out of anything.
Yeah.
And I think even sometimes when we think there is justice, that it's not the same kind of justice that we would have got. Like, I can't get out of that. I can't even get out of a speeding ticket. Like,
right.
That's not going to happen. I mean, if I did something like John Caroni, I would have been locked up 2 years ago.
Why do you think he's not necessarily getting away with it, but I want to say it's very much more leniency on him than it would be on, say, me if I did this. Yeah. Why do you think that? Do you think it's like his parents' connections, or I don't understand? Like, no. Honestly, that's an honest
meaning, like he's not as high profile enough to matter.
Yeah. I just didn't want to say it like that, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, because I would agree with that. But also, we don't know what happens behind the scenes. We don't know what kind of envelopes are being slipped under their table. We don't know who might be funding those envelopes that don't want something else to come out that guy knows about or whatever. Sure. And one, I don't have the kind of capital to get myself out of situations like that, nor do I have the intellectual capital to get myself out of situations like that, because I don't know bad things that other people have done. Yeah. So it's like, I get it to a point. The elite's trying to take care of the elites. Like, that makes sense to me. No. But I just mean he may have the resources or have enough dirt on somebody that somebody else is making it go away. I don't know.
With his parents, because I know that his dad worked for, I think, the CIA.
Yeah, but he could have answered phones for the CIA for all we know.
I don't know. I went down that rabbit hole of his parents, and his dad is like not just the answering phones. I can tell you that much. I did it myself. I looked into it myself, and I was like, oh God, this is kind of scary, because how important he kind of was. So maybe that I just can't understand, because I know I wouldn't get away with it. I'd be in jail until my sentencing.
Yeah, but that still sucks, because since my dad was a school teacher, I can't get away with anything, but because somebody had another job that they can, their parent, it doesn't. None of that seems fair. So I don't know. I think it's 2 weeks from yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So in 2 weeks, we should be able to hopefully finally let everybody know what's happening, and kind of.
I mean, that's also LDS influence.
Yeah, could
that's actually a thing.
Yeah. It's possible. I just don't know. None of it makes sense to me. It does, where I can understand why certain people would take care of certain people. But I would think there would be a line that if you aren't above it, like, nobody's going to really care. You're just going to serve your time and you're going to be done. But I don't know. Very well could be 3-letter agencies, Bearded. It could be things that we would never even think of. We're just going to have to wait and see. If he gets no time, something's going on behind the scenes. But Also, we don't know what the judge or the sentencing, what they think may end up being just to them. 32 months may be way too much time for what they think he did. I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, so what's the status on the other guy, Kyle Nagy? Is he still on the run? Or is he like
I've heard nothing about him.
scared? At some point I remember I could have sworn somebody was saying he was caught in Russia. But I don't know how true that was.
Yeah. Well, listen, you want to talk about truths. The last 2 weeks of things that I've seen on the internet that were false is like unbelievable. Like I have read so many things, not talking about Safe Moon, but I'm like, oh man, I can't believe that happened. And then come to find out it was clickbait bullcrap.
Yeah.
It's so hard to navigate between what's actually true now and what's not.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks because I don't really have the time or the desire to really go down those rabbit holes and try to figure out what's really true and what's not. I'm the guy that likes to scroll right through and be like, oh, look at that. And I'm not even going to read the article, but it's so much clickbait nowadays. It's hard for me to decipher anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. But hey, I wanted to talk to you guys about all the protesting that was going on in Minnesota.
Is Meg serious?
Is that true?
I don't know. You'd have to tell us. But this is kind of where we were going with the protesters that were in Minnesota. And the reason I bring it up because Rudy and I were actually talking about it earlier today on X. That the protesters that stormed the church in Minnesota. Did you guys see that?
No.
I didn't.
What
Yeah.
are they doing?
So they went inside and were protesting inside the church while they were having service. Oh, see, you said that's one of the things that are not true. That's what I can 100% thought that's what he was doing, was playing off what we were just talking about.
Mhm.
So sorry, Meg, I didn't take your bait. But so they were having service. The protesters came in. Now, Don Lemon, do you know who Don Lemon is? The reporter, the black gay reporter that's, I don't know, he used to have a show on MSNBC, I think, or CNN. No. You know who Don Lemon is?
No.
You have been away for a while, woman. You can look him up. You'll know who I'm talking about.
Let me look.
But anyways,
Don
so
Porter?
they go. What?
What's his name?
Don Lemon.
Oh, Lemon. I thought you said. Why did I think Porter? That was way off.
I'm going with the drunk, as we talked about earlier. But they.
I know what's in my cup here.
I do know.
I mean, no, I don't really know who this is.
Oh, he's been all over my timeline for a long time because the reason that most people don't like him is because he always makes everything racial, and it's not. Most of the things he tries to turn racial are not racial. So people have a really, really hard time with him. But anyways, he shows up to report on this happening and ends up inside of the church with a microphone and a camera, and to the point where he's talking to the preacher in the middle of service, and the preacher actually asked him to leave.
As he should.
So, yeah. So somebody said, I'm not really following. I think Rudy said, I haven't really been following the story, but I thought he was there to report on it. And I just said, no, he actually went inside and said, hey, they asked him to leave. And she agreed. A church is private property. And so it's the same as if somebody was on your front porch. You could say, you can't, or comes into your living room. No, you've got to go. Here's the other weird thing, but most people don't really think of it that way with a church, especially in like small town, rural Missouri.
Yeah.
Like everyone owns the church. Well, it's not the case. I mean, literally, I've had to go talk to people that parked in one of our parking lots because it was getting pretty suspicious at the times they were there and what they might be doing out of their car. And they were like, well, it's a church parking lot. I can do whatever I want. I'm like, no, you're on private property, but people don't really see that. And so I just think it's interesting what's that?
I can kind of understand why they don't, though.
Sort of. To me, it's always funny because those same people that don't ever really see that are the ones that never step foot into the church.
Right.
But it's just weird. I'm not mad at them. Mm-hmm. But what we were kind of talking about is we've seen all these protests and things like that. Is going into a church like that in a protest, is that crossing a line
Yes.
that we haven't really seen before.
Yes.
I agree with you
What were they
100%.
protesting? Were they protesting the church itself?
They were
Who
the
were the
troops, a bunch of white middle-aged boomers, or not quite boomers, probably my age.
protesters? Boomer.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not a boomer. Now
but
everybody that's like 20 years old or younger thinks I'm a
like
boomer.
the
I'm just
thing
not.
is if you're gonna protest, have an agenda. Was the agenda against the church?
I honestly do not know, because there's so much crap that's said in the reporting of all these different stuff. I usually watch it with the volume pretty low, because I don't necessarily need to hear a bunch of stuff. But yeah, it was anti-ICE people. Meg's not
And
wrong.
what business did they have being in the church?
Because I think we're
Were
getting
there
to the
ICE
point.
agents in
No,
there? Like
I
what?
think getting to the point though where people are. Oh, King Turner said that the protest was over the pastor being an ICE agent, which I had not heard any of that. But
No.
still, we're crossing a line here of peaceful protest or marching into private property to protest. There has to be some sort of repercussion on that, right? But I don't understand. Now, Don Lemon's already been cleared by some sort of federal judge today, which is, there we go back to the whole John Caroni thing. Is why I thought it would kind of go together.
Mhm.
Influence, power, money, whatever it is. But is this all getting out of hand? What do you guys think? Like,
You know what? I'm gonna have to be completely honest and say that both sides are getting out of hand. Period.
Yeah.
It's not just the protesters. It is these ICE people. And then on top of that, do you realize that they gave them authorization to come into your house without a warrant now?
yeah, so I saw that, but I was not able to confirm whether or not that was true. That
It's
was
true.
actually one of the things that I read that I wasn't
on our
sure.
local news today.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
saw a
why
headline
is
of
it
it.
And then
I don't think it is.
why? I mean, it's so insane. This whole thing is so mind-blowing to me that I swear to you, I think it's just one big ass distraction for something bigger.
Yeah.
One big psyop.
Yes, I
That's-
really do
that's
believe that.
actually where my mind goes. Is this is covering up or some sort of psyop for something bigger? Because
Mhm.
it's none of it makes any sense. Like the
No.
whole thing is chaos.
But here's my thing is, you know, being a person of a little color, like I'm not completely right. I'm half and half. I'm not, I don't know that because we do have ICE in our little town. I don't know if they stopped me. I don't know what my reaction would be, to be completely honest. Now, I don't know what my reaction would be if they tried to detain my dad. That would be a whole different story, because my dad looks so much more Mexican than I do. Like, I just got the half and half. But my dad was born and raised here in Arizona, but he has to prove that. And then they're saying, oh, we're not racially profiling people. Then how are you even getting
Yeah.
people? Period. Right? Like there has to be some kind of racially profile like going on.
True.
Yeah, that
And
whole
so-
argument though too is like, the suspicion that we have to have reasonable suspicion. You have to at some level as a cop or ICE, I'm not really, just in general, you have to have some sort of a profile, right? Like when you're looking for a drug dealer, are you looking for a guy that looks like he's cracked out, that has a bunch of ones in his pocket, or 20s? I don't know how much drugs cost. You know what I mean? They're at some
For the
level.
ones.
Yeah, I know. But at some level, there has to be some sort of a profile when you're looking
Right.
for whatever.
Well, and that's like, honestly, I think that's what my response is going to be is, what is your suspicion on me to make you want to see where I'm from? Like what my citizenship is.
Yeah.
They need to tell me that. And then I'll
But-
provide that documentation. But do I need to carry my birth certificate, or is my ID enough?
I would guess. I mean,
Should be.
it's a state issued ID. Yeah, and Meg and King Turner both. I'm looking at it on both of these, on my phone and on the comments, have both said that that it wasn't a policy that was put out. It was a memo, and it's being challenged by,
It
it's
needs
being challenged in court.
it needs
So-
to be, because how would they even know to, I mean, I don't know. The whole thing is just so freaking weird.
Let me
It's-
ask you this. Let me ask you this then. Is it infringing on your rights if they check your papers outside of your home?
Why should I have papers?
Well, your
Why
ID.
should I
When you
have
get
to carry any papers with
when
me?
you get pulled over by the cops, you got to give them your license.
No, I don't.
Well,
I
in
tell them
Missouri, they always ask for your license.
and they can see like everything in their system.
For
So
what?
even my insurance, they can verify I have insurance through their system.
Yeah, but what if you're driving Caleb's car?
I just give them my name, and I would have to provide Caleb's
Oh,
insurance.
in the state of Missouri, the first thing they ask you for is your ID.
Hmm.
They have done that since I was 16 years
They
old.
said license and registration, and
Well,
if
that's
you,
what I mean. That's your ID.
yeah, but that's for driving, not for walking.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
That's still like outside your home. Because what's the
Yeah.
difference in driving and walking that for them to ID you is what I'm saying.
But
There
you
is
don't have to have your ID on you if you're walking around.
no.
No, I'm not saying I'm not arguing
Okay.
on either side of it. All I'm
Yeah.
saying is they've been asking for our ID since I was 16 years old. I can promise you, I was a kid in the driver's seat or in the passenger seat of a car sweating because I'd never been pulled over by a cop, and they asked for my ID and I wasn't even driving. So
Yeah,
so
Rudy has a point. The driver's license isn't proof of citizenship. What is my birth certificate?
right.
So do I gotta walk around with my birth certificate? That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me get back to the original point because I'm not talking about proof of citizenship. I'm trying to take it at a different step. They have been asking for my ID since I was 16 years old, okay?
Yeah.
But is it different if they come and knock on my door and ask me for my ID?
Yes.
Okay, I agree with you 100%. But that's my point. Is there are certain places where we go where we know we're required to show ID,
A bar.
right? Yes, you cannot go buy an alcoholic beverage without, at least in Missouri, without most places. And that's my point. So I think a lot of freedoms and a lot of things that happen in our lives are taken away slowly
Absolutely.
and sometimes over generations. And I think a lot of this got sped up after 9/11 with a lot of the things that they started taking away for our safety, because in the means of safety,
Mhm.
citizens will give up freedoms that they wouldn't normally just give up, right?
This is true.
So when it comes to ICE asking for, if they want just a driver's license outside of my home, I'm not sure I have that big of a problem with it. But I'm not going to start carrying around a birth certificate and that has my mother's maiden name on it and all these other crazy papers, like they were wanting us to carry like the proof of COVID shots around. We shouldn't need more than our state issued government ID, is all I'm saying. Because if I'm in a place where I need it, I mean, honestly, who literally normally leaves the house without their ID?
I do all the time.
I have not done that since I've had the ID. I've never went anywhere. Now, maybe I walk down the street,
Well,
but
maybe
I'm not.
Yeah, I keep mine because I have a picture of the front and back of my ID,
Hmm.
and they'll use that. So
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's actually easier now than it's ever been because nobody leaves and goes anywhere without their phone. But
you know what? Though? Like the
we're
thing
crossing
is,
lines that we've never crossed before, is my point.
it's the principle of the whole thing. I think
Yes.
that really is pissing people off. It's like what I don't really understand, because when they first like presented this whole idea, they were supposed to be going after, you know, dangerous people and drug dealers and all the things. And I understand you don't know who, you know, is a drug dealer. I could be one for all they know, right? But there has to be some kind of something that doesn't allow, and humanity.
Yeah.
The fact that they how they approach some people, they're not nice. I can tell you that, just not even by my experience, but by friends who have actually came in contact. Like I have, you know, one of my coworkers, he's Indian, and he had to go and I don't know, get renewed or something like that. Like it's his visa renewed, and they have to get it
Yeah.
or something. I don't even know. But you know what he had to go through in order to do that? It was a lot. It was a lot, and he was scared. He was so terrified to go, and gave his wife like all his contact information, emergency contacts for work, just in case.
Wow.
I could not imagine feeling that way, but they're starting to make Americans feel that way. You have to be scared to go out, and they're like camping out at Home Depots, Walmarts. They are, and I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen if they approach me, because I'm not going to sit down and be like, "Oh, here you go." For what?
Yeah.
For what?
But each person is going to have to make that decision too.
I'm an American citizen. This is
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to be scared that I'm going to be approached and here's your thing, or detained wrongfully.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. But I think there's also, because I like to look at both sides of each thing. I think that at some level, though, and let's just go drastic, okay? If every person in the world decided they wanted to be an American citizen, the America's infrastructure couldn't handle it, correct? There's no way.
No.
Our plumbing system could not handle if every person in the world. Now, that's an extreme, okay? But at some level, the government has to have a say on who can come to our country and who can't. How they enforce it, I would guess there's better ways. But I also think that they failed in all those ways for so long that we're almost in like panic mode over it. And I don't know the statistics on like where we're at with how much we can handle, how much we can't, but we're printing money for everything else. I don't know what the right answer is, but I understand both sides of the humanity side of, hey, I'm just trying to be here have a better life. I get all that. I also understand to the extreme of, hey, at some level, we can only let so many people in. And depending on the birth rates or whatever, we might be able to let more in this year than the next year. And there are proper channels to do it. But I do think that it's been so messed up for so long that it was going to be chaos if anyone ever tried to fix it. You know what I mean? Even if they did it the perfect way, it was going to be chaos. And I don't know what the answer is. I just think we're starting to cross lines where we are losing like part of what makes us human, like on both sides, really. Like I saw a video of a woman screaming and yelling and blocking a road that an ICE agent was trying to go down in his vehicle. And he finally rolled down his window and he said, "Lady, I'm trying to get down on the end of the block because we are here to arrest a sexual predator, like a pedophile. Like it was a ring." And she's like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And she moved. Don't always know where. I mean, my brother-in-law is a cop. He was a police chief for many, many, many years. He didn't tell his wife where he was going that night for whatever sting he was doing. You know what I mean? And he wasn't an ICE agent. He was just a cop. But there's got to have to be some secrets, because if you are headed to go arrest the true bad guys, you don't want them to know you're coming. So where does it stop on both sides? I don't know, but I'm afraid we're going to push the button so far on both ends that it's going to be like uncivil chaos to where you're not going to want to leave your house. You know, even if you have nothing to hide, even a white middle-aged man like me that really probably is not profiled for anything, is not going to want to leave because it's just going to be chaotic. And I don't like it. I think and I don't think anybody likes it. I think everybody wants to side in one way or another. I think reasonable people will look at both sides of the argument. But in this case, I don't know if there's a solution. I really don't, because of where we are at right now. I don't know how you back down from, let's just say, the government side. How do you back down without it just completely going haywire? And then how do you ignore it if you're on the other side because then it's just going to be like totalitarian, and that's going to be weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but if we don't get something fixed, it's going to be complete chaos. And I don't know what that looks like. I really don't. And I think, to me, that's the scary part.
Yeah.
We talked last week about over planning and overthinking things. I don't see an end on either side. And so to me, that means it's going to end up being more of this. And how far does that go? And to me, and this is just my personal opinion, when those things start spilling into sanctuaries, what I think most people would consider a church a sanctuary, even if they're not a believer, we're crossing lines that we're not going to be able to come back from. I mean, you got people that are literally there to worship, and all of a sudden now the whole thing's being interrupted for something they're obviously not paying attention to, right? They're not siding with this or that. So I don't know. It's crazy. And I will tell you this, and it's super selfish take on my part, but I am so glad I'm not raising children in this environment. Like, I'm so glad my kids aren't like 5 years old, because I don't know what this place is going to look like in 20 years.
Yeah.
I really don't. And it seems like we're getting further and further away from sensibility every day.
You know, but here's the question for you is why would they put ICE agents in places like a university? Because it's happening at where Mally's school is.
I have no idea.
Why? Those aren't dangerous people. They're trying to go to school to educate themselves, for God's sake. They're not anything. So why are they camping there?
So here's my educated guess is the letter of the law. If they are there illegal, then they are committing a crime. And I'm going to guess that means they're trying to take everyone out that's not documented. Not just the dangerous ones, everyone. Maybe it started with the excuse of the dangerous ones. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the answer for you, but I'm not sure why else they would be there. I think you bring up a good point. Like, why?
Mm-hmm.
But it always starts that way, though, right? Like, whatever argument or whatever you're trying to get something enforced, well, it's the good for the kids or whatever it may be. And then it ends up escalating into this crazy thing where everybody's looking around going, what would we allow to happen here? So I don't know. And I will also tell you, too, that I feel like in Missouri, we're looking at this from the outside looking in. But they just purchased one of the biggest warehouses in Kansas City for an ICE detention center, about 25 miles up the road.
Why?
Well, 30 miles. I don't know how far it is, Caleb, but
it's not far.
What ethnicity is there in Missouri, really, that, like, is there any?
Yeah, same as what I mean, just not the percentages. We have the same that you do in Arizona, but not the same percentages.
So really far from borders.
But let me tell you that
I would go like deep. I would go right in the middle where like it's far away from where it came from.
Well, one of the biggest employers for illegal immigrants about 20 years ago was Tyson Chicken Facilities in Arkansas.
Really?
Yeah. So that's where I mean, when I don't know how many times they raided that place in like the 90s and the 2000s, and they just kept coming back and coming back and coming back. So, so I don't know. But that's the problem, though. I don't think anybody has an answer, not a true answer, not something that's going to solve the problem for both sides, and honestly, all I really feel like I have the power to do in a situation like this is pray.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have no influence. I cannot make anything work. Nobody really listens to what I have to say, except for the 7 people that we have that watch our channel. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's an awesome answer for that. And I'm not as necessarily always well spoken on the matter either, because I do feel like a lot of what we do, like where we live, is looking from the outside in. So I don't know, but yeah, it's crazy, and I don't know where it ends, and I don't know where it goes from here. So, and Mad Mike, I guess we'll call him today. says, I'm gonna just put his comment up here. Illegal immigration stats are false and have been for years, so we all fight about it and don't pay attention to what's really happening in Washington. It's a very good point. The problem I have with that is what I just talked about what's happening on social media is I don't know what's true anymore.
Neither.
And that makes arguing for one side or another pretty much impossible.
There's a lot of stuff going on, like with Denmark and all that weird stuff. Is it Greenland?
Greenland.
Yeah, Greenland.
Yeah, and now they're saying that.
What? I don't understand any of it.
Yeah, and now they're going to allow us to put military bases on. It's an all military strategy, is what it is. It's because of where they're located.
Yeah,
and now
close to Russia or in the middle of like
yeah.
Russia or something random. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're in they are. It's not quite perfectly halfway, but they are north and kind of halfway between us and Europe. So it's a really good strategic place. Russia, many years ago, there's clips of Putin talking about how he wants Greenland. There's clips of Israel's prime minister is another name I cannot say. Netanyahu. Sorry, I think I said it right that time. That's the boss. He wants Greenland. There's tapes of him saying that he wants it. It's a prime location for something. My thought process is I wondered if Trump didn't go get it for Netanyahu, because there's so much things that have been happening over the last couple of years. It makes me feel like we're just Israel's puppet anyways. That's a discussion for another time. But I don't really know.
There's so much going on that I can't keep up. And so, and you know, when I try to, I'm exhausted.
I think that's a strategy though, too, right? If you just force feed information to people, eventually they quit seeing the important stuff or they can't process it. And I think that's 100% true. Hey, let's lighten the mood a little bit before we go off the air.
Ask Bearded your question.
Winnick space. Oh, damn. It's been a while.
I don't know. What's the question?
The tree question. Well, ask Bearded if that your tree picture.
Goodness.
Oh, I will. That's where we're heading.
Oh.
But first off, we have to tell a funny story about our TikTok account. I don't know if Mike D saw, but 2 days ago we posted a video on TikTok and it blew up. Did he see this? Ask him if he saw it.
I did not.
Okay, tell him to read the comments because people hate us.
Do they?
They hate us.
They hate us on TikTok?
They hate us on TikTok. So we need better equipment.
Like 5 followers. What do you mean?
that TikTok video has more views than any TikTok video we put out there.
King Turner had to lighten the mood even more. And how about them Wildcats?
So this TikTok video has more views than any TikTok video we've had out there so far. And the meanest comments I've ever seen on TikTok, because we need better equipment. We're dumb. They can't believe they wasted their time watching this 20-second clip. Can you guess what clip it was, Holly?
No.
It was about us talking about who's going to be the last undefeated basketball team.
Oh, they're all bluffers.
Yeah. So pretty much everyone hates you.
All these flavors, and you choose to be salty.
Yeah. Which is funny too, because I got to tell you, why do people that literally hate things spend any more time by commenting on them?
I've never been able to.
The only time I've done that is on purpose, because I'm trolling like Ravens fans or Bills fans or whatever, because I'm a jerk. But besides that, like, I really don't understand it. But anyways, I just thought it was a funny story. If you haven't seen the clip, go to our TikTok channel, check it out, read the comments, defend us if you want. I'd love to read arguments on it. That'd be really cool. I'm just not going to engage in any of that. But
the funny part is, like, so Rudy gets me well, she doesn't get me involved, but
yes, no,
like, a lot of comments on Twitter.
It's like you're in her backpack or something, and your little head pops up and goes, "Oh, I got something to say too."
It is hilarious. Like, I just laugh at some of the things. Like, there was a joke, you know, she was joking about Trump because, okay, first of all, Trump over dramas everything. He
Your
over
reply was perfect.
everything is, and it wasn't even about, it was just, that's how he is. And
Yeah.
I understand, like, he was late to that, whatever. He had, there was mechanical on the first plane, so he had to switch planes. He was 3 hours late. I get it. I got it. I understand. I wasn't saying, like, oh, there was, I wasn't making fun of the fact that there was nobody there to greet him. I was kind of using his terms, because I would be surprised if he didn't come out and say, there was millions, or no, billions of people, because that's how he is. That's how he is. Holy crap. People got really mad at me for saying that.
Oh, really? I saw it early. I didn't see the responses.
All of a sudden, like, I am this, I'm against Trump and I'm a Democrat. And if anybody knows me at all, I'm neither. I am neither. And I am sticking with that. So, like, it's just so wild. One lady said something about a Wheaties packet. What the hell is a Wheaties packet? So I was like, it was like something about, she said something, where did you get that from, a Wheaties packet? And I said, your mom.
Oh, wow. Bringing people's moms into the argument. Wow.
It's the most wildest thing. And, I don't think that this lady was a bot king. I don't think this one was, because she was going back and forth with me. And then her last comment was, don't you hate when you don't get the last word? And she plugged me. And I was like, well, not really, because I really don't know you and your 5 followers. Like, it's like the weirdest. Oh my gosh. But Rudy's comments crack me up. And then,
I know why she's monetized now, because people will read those things and it's hilarious.
Get so mad at her.
Yeah. But hey, bring it on. It's doing this. She's getting some cash.
My God. Well, you know what? She got her first payment was a good amount.
Was it more than $15?
Yeah, it was like $300.
Wow, she's killed us. Our payment was $15 like a year ago. We bought lottery tickets with it. We didn't win.
Yeah.
So thanks, Elon.
No, she blocked you too, Rudy. If you go and look, she made a comment to you and called you some, like, maca. I don't know what that means. And she waved to you. I don't know. It was weird.
Did she have her eating a hamburger in a bikini?
No, that was like a couple weeks ago.
That's classic, by the way, though. If Rudy ever makes me mad, that's what I'm going to do.
Yep, bored. That's it.
What's funny to me, though, is people hitch their wagons to these corrupted politicians on both sides of the aisle. Like, every time I will make an argument about something on X, somebody attacks me for being a Democrat or a Republican. No, I'm neither. I'm for what's right. And sometimes that may be the left. Sometimes that might be the right. I probably lean more right, because in my moral compass, a lot of the things are more that way. But I don't understand why people idolize Trump, right? We had a really good friend that idolized Trump to a point where I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? He is a human being, and he's a broken, sinful human being. Why do you idolize this man? I don't get it. The weird
part is like, I can't, it's almost like they don't see any fault in him.
I know.
And I can't figure that out, because he opens his mouth sometimes and you're like, what? What? Like, there are some things he gets on TV or, does his speech, and he lies. He lies, just flat out lies. Like, the sky is purple, and people are like, he didn't lie about that. He might be colorblind, so it is purple. I mean, it's wild. It's wild.
To defend somebody like that, just like, no matter what they say, is weird to me. Yeah, it is, but why? Who deserves blind loyalty?
I don't know.
Nobody. I don't think anyone does.
I don't even deserve it.
No, I mean, maybe Caleb, because he drive you into the ground like a spike, but I don't.
It's wild, but I wouldn't. It doesn't matter who it is. I guess I never. I don't agree with any of them. I think they're all corrupt. All of them.
All of them. Agreed. I think it's time to push the button and start over, but that'll never happen, because the people that are in power are going to stay in power. They're going to make sure. No,
there's no way around it.
In the meantime, people have fun.
members or people they know. Like it's just they're passing the buck, if any.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, yeah.
All right, one last thing before we go.
Yeah.
So, snowstorm headed to Missouri, and it is supposedly anywhere from like 3 inches to like 85 inches, and
Shut
depending on what day it's so weird. But anyways,
weird.
we're expected to get about 10 inches realistically of snow over starting Friday night into Saturday. But Caleb came across something on X today that is Bearded still in the comments because we need his help.
He's
Okay.
there.
So Bearded, we need your help. We came across this on X today, and I have to know if it's true.
Oh.
They have a caution in Wisconsin about possible exploding trees because the temperature decreases so fast that the water expands, build pressures, and the trees explode. Bearded, is this a true thing? Does this really happen?
Stress releases with a loud bang. Bam!
Scientifically, it sounds like it could, but I have never heard of this before in my entire life. Meg says it's true. Like,
Meg is in Alabama. I think that Meg, are you going to get a storm too?
he might get some ice.
I
Oh,
have
all right. There he is.
Scientifically. Oh.
I'm gonna guess he says he hasn't seen it.
About this. Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
He's in
So
Texas, but
I have never heard of this before, but apparently this is a thing. So to all our viewers that are north of where we are,
Careful.
watch out for exploding trees. I mean, of all the things going on in the world,
with negative 40. How do
Yeah.
you seriously? And this is like, I don't.
you would
I've
die,
never-
Holly. You would
I would
die.
die. Can you go outside in that kind of weather? Seriously.
Bundled up, but you wouldn't want to breathe the air probably without
That's what I'm
breathing
saying.
it through a
It was
scarf or
just-
something.
I couldn't
Wouldn't
imagine.
want skin exposed either.
Yeah. You think it was
Not for
cold?
very long.
Yeah.
How do
Oh
your
yeah.
pipes not freeze? I mean,
Well,
my huh?
they're buried way deeper than they are in Arizona.
Oh, are they? Ours are like some of them are out of like just right into the house under like overground.
Oh, not ours. All of ours come into the middle of the house, 3 foot underground.
Holy shit!
Because you got to get below the frost line or they'll freeze, and then you bring them into the warmest part of the house, and then they spread out.
5 to 10 minutes frostbite.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long.
Yeah, yeah.
Your
Okay,
skin cannot handle it.
Why? Somebody explain to me why you live there. Because they tell me this all the time in the summer. And I can tell you because of this weather, what we have now. But your guys' summers kind of suck too.
I know. Honestly, if I didn't have any family in Missouri, I would move because the weather sucks.
Yeah, you guys
You
need to
get like 4 or 5 weeks in the spring and 4 or 5 weeks in the fall. That's pretty cool. The rest of the time, it's either too humid and hot or freezing cold and sucks. So I'm moving to Arizona. Get that bedroom ready, Holly. We're moving in.
sold. Well, yeah. You guys are
Oh,
more
you got to sell your house so we can't find you.
no, that would be the best. But I think about, if I was ever to leave Arizona, I'd probably go to Missouri. It's beautiful there.
We have heaters.
But good grief. Let me know how this storm goes because
I'll
I'm
send
gonna
you
be-
pictures if we get lots of snow.
we're going to get rain tomorrow, guys. that's as far as we go.
What a jerk. I guess we'll end it on that. How about that? We'll just end the whole thing on that. All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week if we survive the snowstorm. In the meantime, God bless. Have a good week.
See ya.
Bye.
I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.